Mahalia. She was singing that to Martin Luther King.
Yeah, it's a wonderful clip on YouTube. He is just
Is
surprised and
for
delighted.
You just call up a Mahalia Jackson tape on
Yeah.
YouTube with MLK. Yeah, well, all of us here admit to not being able to not tear up when we see speeches by Martin Luther King Jr. He was all of our main inspiration.
And we'll come back to this at the end of the show. We have a little surprise for you.
Oh, surprise for me. Okay, well, I am so happy. Leni Manaa-Hoppenworth is here joining us. Leni is, I think, the person who heads up the Illinois Women's March office, as it were, meaning that you are a person interested in putting women together going to Washington, D.C. on the 21st, but it is a march that is happening in many, many places, including right here in Chicago. Welcome to Live from the Heartland, Leni.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Kate.
You all, let's start at the beginning. When did you hear of the march, and what made you step up? Because I know you're a professional, and this is not a normal activity for you. Is that right?
That's right. I have never done anything like this before, but of course after the election, trying to find some comfort on social media. It was a mess out there, and really just trying to connect with people, but there was no one to connect with. Everyone was kind of shut down a little bit.
Good way to describe it.
But somebody did invite me to the page, the Women's March on Washington, Illinois chapter page. And I really wanted it to be real. I wanted it to be real, so I clicked on the admin name and I reached out and I said, what can I do? But I was also thinking, are you real? And I did get a response back. And when they called me, I offered my photography services because that's what I do. But in the end of it all, I said, what is it that I can do for you? Let me know what I can do because I want to do something.
And which led to you being introduced the other night at a meeting as the Illinois coordinator.
Yes.
Is that the correct nomenclature?
A rapid rise.
Yeah. Well, I am on a team of 6 amazing women, and we all do our part, and we don't all do everything. And we've mobilized over 30 buses leaving Illinois, just buses alone. We don't know how many people
Personal cars
or flying, or in total there are about, well, more than 1,200 buses going to D.C.
that they know about.
Yes,
all over the country.
All over the country.
So what's the hoped for result of this march?
The hope on what I believe
Yeah.
is that the work starts when we get home. When we get home, because it can't just be, what it really is like a kickoff party.
Good way to put it.
That's good.
So we connect with each other now, not online,
Yeah.
face to face,
Yeah.
together, standing together,
Yeah.
on the 21st, and then we come home and then we do the real work.
It's so well put. I ran across by accident, because I spent too much time on it, a Facebook thread yesterday. And I don't know if it was on the event site, but somewhere else on the side, but this woman was very heartfelt in saying, when I first heard about this, feeling that my GOP leadership has abandoned me, I was very excited about trying to set a new agenda. But I'm concerned it's turning more and more into an anti-Trump thing rather than a how we move forward. I don't know if this has been an internal dynamic that you've had to deal with, because clearly there's lots of emotion about the incoming regime. But how are you trying to position what your platform might be, what you hope, as you just put, when we come back home, what it is we're going to be about doing?
So National did put out unity principles, and they're very purposeful and inclusive, and about human rights, and it's very clear that we need to do many things together, environmental and civil rights, LGBTQIA rights. There are all these things on the platform now.
There's actually nothing in the published platform or the article I went to at slate.com, not even the word of the incoming president is mentioned. It's really, I think, my sense of it, when I first heard about it, which was probably about the same time you heard about it, was, this is great. This is, I mean, the only other women's march I took part in was here in Chicago for the ERA, with Jane Byrne at the front of it, and we were all dressed in white, and it was impressive, and it was moving, and it was spectacular. So women together marching to remind people of our progressive platform is really what I think it's about. And as you said, the laundry list here, the platform puts the march in support of the usual feminist suspects: long overdue equal rights amendment, equal pay, paid family leave, end of violence against women. But then it goes on.
Yeah, it's extensive.
And it adds all the things you said, the environmental issues, the movements for equality of all kinds, the American Indian movement, Occupy, Black Lives Matter. It's inclusive of people working for justice. And you know.
Yes, and I understand that many people want this to be an anti-something.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the mission of the group in the beginning. We need to rise up and overcome this thing that's coming down the pipe, and we have to do it together.
It's actually pretty impressive that out of so many disparate groups has come this drawing ever closer, more unified approach. And I'm very excited. I really hope Chicago has the biggest race outside of D.C.
I heard that the march in Chicago was one of the biggest sister marches that is being organized right now.
You know, when I first heard about the march, I know my wife and my daughters were real excited, and they were all going to go down to D.C., and then it became problematic about travel money and where to stay. I know a lot of people are going on the bus and they're coming right back, but there'll be many more people who are, you know, staying in friends' houses in D.C. But I think that kind of led to the proliferation of the demonstrations around the country. So how many cities are there going to be marches? I know New York's got a march. I know that Chicago's got a march. I'm assuming many other places.
San Francisco, L.A.
Yes, but probably every state has a march, but there are marches globally too.
Oh, nice.
Australia, Bahamas, there are marches everywhere. There's 281 sister marches that we know of, and there are 593,000 participants who say they're going to march in their sister marches.
Ooh.
So it's a women's
So
march.
that's based on, all those numbers come from the people signing up online?
Yes, there are. They are telling it on. They're trying very hard to get a head count. It's very difficult.
Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
It's labeled a women's march. How can guys help?
Guys can be awesome and be supportive and join us.
Show up.
Show up.
Mm-hmm.
This march is for everybody. If you're a human being, you can come.
And once again, here in Chicago, where do we show up at what time?
Now, I am not a part of the Chicago March, but
I am. It's Petrillo Bandshell at 9 a.m., even though the event probably won't kick off till 10. And then there will be a march after. I understand there's a rumor that some of the Hamilton cast will be on stage.
And the date?
And the date is a week from today. Right now, 1 week hence, on January 21st, all over the country and beyond, women, along with their support and allied men, will be hitting the streets to say, we're not going backwards.
We're going to let Katie go and Marshall and play other roles while Michael and I handle the show, and then we'll be joining her and the rest of you after the show is over.
And there will be a march around the loop included, you know, by the federal building, by the county, city hall, state of Illinois, and back to Petrillo at the end. But for the big shot, you know, the Cubs rally shot of the event, come early and be there in the big mass at 10 a.m. at Petrillo Bandshell. Leni Manaa-Hoppenworth, I'm so happy to, one, have met you, and for the great work that you're doing to get Illinois women out east on that day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, anytime. And now that you know your fellow photographer over there, you've got
I'm looking forward to your show.
more to go to. You are listening to Live from the Heartland, WLUW 88.7 FM on your dial. We have some music coming your way and our final guests.